Welcome to this new sweaty, very warm video. I just filled up these two. The one is behind there, you can barely see it, with new bales. And I got a lot of questions like, how do I fill them up? I'm alone now and I still have two to go. So I'll show you how I fill these up with the next one. For now, I separated the horses here. I mean, they can go all the way around, but of course, they like to be ready for the hay. So let's see how they respond. And then as a result, I can lock them in over here. Their water is over here, but now, hey sweethearts, now that there's water in the pool, I was able to lock them out of here for an hour. Usually they're fine with eating from 2 spots with 5 horses. But you can see Aslan doesn't really agree with me. But also this is a lot easier for me to fill up without the horses around it. So first I'm gonna observe their behavior just a little bit to make sure that if I would close this up again, that I'm not causing trouble. But I think this is it. Yeah, nice guys. Just some FYI, over there we still have hay. They just don't really like it. They've been grazing all day and it's time to give them new hay. So I'm gonna fill up all 5 of the crates and 2 to go, because I'm not gonna empty the one that still has some, even though they don't really like it, because there was some mud on it. We're not princes and princesses here. Alright, so they don't really eat out of these hanging nets because those have really small holes in them. So you can see underground they have not eaten a bite from this, so I might have to throw it away. But this is also definitely ready for a new load. So let's do that. What I love about this way of feeding is that we can do it once a week. Usually me and someone who helps. Someone is on the way, but I didn't want to wait. So I thought, well, let's just see if I can do it by myself. Turns out I can. It's just a very warm day, so a little sweaty. And here is also still good hay in. So all I have to do now is that last crate, because the one I'm walking towards now also still has hay in it. Right, little addition to this hay vlog, we planted all these trees and all behind there. They're not very happy because, like I said, it is a very warm day. I did give them water, so let's just hope they'll do good, because these will grow like twice my size, so pretty long, and will give a lot of shade and also block some of the wind. So I really hope that they'll grow nicely. This is our other hay net, which they don't really like, but I am still not gonna give up on it, because I don't want to throw away this much hay just because they're a little spoiled. So here we have our hay storage. We had 70 bales, already gave a few, so still a lot. I'll show you how I do this. So I went into a big search to find meaty bales that were also great quality, of course. But mostly the reason why I wanted this size is because they are kind of okay to manage and move by yourself. So it is a lot of just putting your shoulder or your hip in it. But that is working perfectly. These are about, gotta launch a spider off, about 120 kilos. So that's like a big human man. So they're not light. but they are compact, so that really helps with being able to roll them over. Of course, the steering isn't easy, but like I said, your hips, your knees, my shoulders, those are my strong points in my body, so those I can use. And then I just have to roll them towards where I need them to be. Tired. This is why I prefer doing this with 2 people, but it's also nice that it is possible with just 1. Okay, the intense part is done now. This is really the only reason why, well, maybe not the only, because the last step could use 2 people as well. But this is way easier with 2 people and very intense with 1. The rest, all fine, all doable by yourself. It's just, I mean, it is a free gym right now, but other than that, I don't really want this to be a very intense job. I want this to be a quick job and that I'll still have energy to do whatever I want with my horse after this. And right now, by myself it isn't, and with 2 it is. So that's why I think this is a 2-person job. But if you're fine with this, of course. And it's also, after the first one I was still feeling very confident, and now the workout really put me on my place. Okay, the next step is with my knife is I'm gonna cut it open just however you like. I like to try and go pretty deep, so I can also already get the plastic with it that's underneath the net. And then I usually also take the lower part with, because that always gets stuck, and then I prefer to do it on 4 sides. And then you open the top. Like that, and then I just look at where I cut deep enough so I can take the rest just when I go around. But there's still a lot of net below, and then you can usually just circle around. Sometimes there's also a net partially under a layer beneath this, but I don't see it on this one. So this is it. That is the next step. Then I get the net, and then you basically put its coat on. You dress up your bale, and these nets, I got them from Applejack, which is a Dutch tech store, but they also have applejack.com for international. So I'm sure that if you're inspired by this, you can even get these exact nets. And then I just put it around. This is not sponsored by Applejack. This is based on the questions that I got, and I really just like giving you tips and advice that will help create a nicer home for your horse, or a nicer life even. So once I've covered it all on the top, and I can pull it a little bit, but this is a smaller bill. Sometimes they're very tight. Then I got more for my money. Usually it's a little looser like this, which is easier to fill. Once I got the top, I tip it over twice. So then I can pull the rest of the net up on the top. This one is going very easy. The other ones I was struggling, so now I'm happy that I filmed this one and not the hard ones. And then usually with all the tipping around, you have some leftover hay from this bale that is still fresh and good. I'm not gonna put the hay that's already on the ground because they're obviously not eating that anymore. But this is fresh from this bale. So I can put that in. Then I tie it with just your regular horse knot, where you make a loop. Then I get the hook, attach it to here, and then get it in there. The reason why I like this is that I can always pull and make it open it again. And especially with these thicker ropes, that always works great. Even when it's wet, when it's muddy, when there's a lot of old hay in there that's also wet and muddy. A lot of hay nets have these, like the same type of rope that's on the net for on the end. And those, like this doesn't matter with this net. But with another net, I would be very precise in taking all of this out. With these nets, you can really just pull as hard as you like, and the net will go open again, no matter the circumstances. The next step, I can already add the hook on it, is I'm gonna tip it over one more time. And then I'm already looking at where in the crate do I have my ring. I have a metal ring in here, and that is gonna be where I attach the hook. So I line those up, and then I'll take you to this side so you can watch what I'm doing. What I want now is to have the hook and the ring line up. So I'm gonna move the crate because it's way lighter than 120 kilos. I think this might be 20. So that's a big difference. I'm gonna line it up a little bit more this way. And then I'm gonna throw it over like that. This is the easiest way for, if you don't have machines like I do, you can really just do this with your strength. Then, of course, I'm gonna go in with my arm to attach my hook to my ring. And the reason why I have that, someone asked me, she asked, well, I always want to feed my horses with nets, but they keep getting the net out of the crate. This is attaching your hay net onto the crate. So when your horses pull the hay out, the whole net isn't following. Of course, they can't drag 120 kilos out with just their movement, but eventually they will eat all of this, usually with our 5 horses in a week with 5 crates. And then they can drag the whole thing out of there, and I don't want their hooves to get in there, so that's why I also keep it kind of short. Yeah, that's how we do this. I'm gonna roll it in, and this is another step that I could use a second person for, but I see that my help still hasn't arrived, so I'll try to just go in full Hulk mode. What you want to do now is tilt it back on his feet, and then I'm done. I'm also attach myself with a button on the net. Like that. That is how to do it. Now we have 3 full, 3 rests, 3 leftovers, and the horses can eat for the rest of the week. Again, I hope. So 1 with leftovers over there, 1 with leftovers over here. A full one over here. You can't see the screen because it's so sunny. And 2 full ones somewhere over there with very calm, happy horses. So I'm gonna open it again there. and yeah, then they can eat everywhere again. Another common question is, of course, why do I move them so far? Now it's a big workout to get there. Well, that causes the horses to move around a lot too, and that is very, yeah, like how they're supposed to be, like how horses are supposed to move around, is to walk a lot of kilometers every day. And with this, we kind of create that for as far as you can when keeping horses that aren't wild. But yeah, this really does help to keep them moving around, yeah, to provide them in all their basic needs. So if you have any questions regarding how we feed the horses, let them know. Speaking of that, I also know that a lot of people are gonna ask about, yeah, giving them hay 24/7. You know, our horses aren't skinny. That is mostly due to most of us not doing a lot with them, not training them very intensively. We love working with our horses, but it's really in a way that we both enjoy it and that is fair to them also on these warm days. So yeah, they might be a little bit chubby. That is not really because of the hay, that's more because of how we train them. We are aware, and with we I mostly mean me, because I can't speak for others, but mine is maybe the chubbiest. No, the reason why we feed horses hay 24/7 is to prevent stomach ulcers, to prevent stress, and really when they are able to eat 24/7, they will stop eating. They will. This morning they were sleeping there, they're often grooming with each other, they're often just going on a walk, exploring the pool in the mountain, just playing, just napping. They are doing so many more things than just eating, because they know that it doesn't matter if they rush and get everything in there, because there's always going to be hay. And that is what causes maybe your horse to not be able to stop eating, is because he knows that it will run out, and he might be the last one to be able to eat, so he might get hungry, or it might take you 12 hours to fill it again. He will be hungry. So it can take a while, a couple months, for horses to get used to eating like this, but it is really beneficial for their health. So that's why we prefer to feeding our horses 24/7 in this way, which is, in my eyes and with my options and possibilities, is because I don't have machines or anything, it is the easiest way for us as well. If you have any more questions than that, let them know in the comments. I'd love to help you. And otherwise, I hope to see you in another video. Bye!